Alright, we're gonna have what I like to call a teaching moment. So, with any talkie, cigarettes lit, let's get into it. Now, as some may know, I play almost every killer. I've got a lot of time in this game, and I can pick my targets. So I'm gonna kind of break down why I picked, who I picked, and how I did what I did. So I like I don't play the Death Slinger too often, and as with every other time that I talk, non-scripted, I'm gonna ramble. It is what it is. So, he was an easy target. He's standing in a corner. My build, let me pause for a second. We'll talk about my build real quick. So, I can't get Bloodlust because I've got our fun right here. You know, I'm going for a stealthy Death Slinger. So, this perk, I no longer gain Bloodlust, but I get 5% after each basic attack. I've got Monitor and Abuse to shrink my terror radius. I have the Flask to take down my terror radius when aiming down sights. The Bullet here to make myself move a little quicker when aiming down sights. I'm going for a sneaky shots build just to try and have a little bit of fun. So, Monitor and Abuse. I've got Unforeseen here so that I'll kick the gen. My terror radius is on the gen. I'm going for sneaky grabs. I'm going for sneaky shots. And Machine Learning just for the stealth and the faster movement speed. So, now that you kind of know what I'm going for here with my little gimmick build, let's get back into it. Now, I broke out the 4th year Death Slinger. You know, what's an anniversary without anniversary cosmetics? And I just wanted to, go in, see what I can do. I don't play Death Slinger that often. So, I wasn't expecting, like, comp level or anything like that. I'm expecting average players like myself. So, I've got my little build going here. They don't know I'm there. Easy shot on Claudette. This chase is going to tell me everything I need to know about Claudette. She is just going to run. And you can tell by the cosmetics she's a Blendette. Blendettes hide. They'll do gens, they'll go for saves. They're not good in chase. So I know she's an easy down and she's going to run. She might throw pallets for me. Anything. Like, she's going to be one that I can tunnel out of this match if I absolutely needed to. Now, the one with the flashlight, notice its name is Jukes. That tells me this is a person that wants to waste my time. They're a person that wants to, run the killer, get their flashlight saves, get their blinds, all that fun shit. So, they're less of a priority for me. Now, I tried blocking the flashlight with the tree. It didn't work. Now, as you can tell, this person is a flashlight player. They want my attention. I'm not going to give it to them. Because that's how you lose matches. When you see somebody that's overly aggressive, they're running near you, they're coming in for saves, that's the person that will waste your time. They are not the weak link of this team. You want to go after the weak links. Now, given that I don't play this killer often, there's going to be more weak links and strong ones unless they just happen to unfortunately get weaker players in solo queue. Which, it happens. I play both sides of this game. I've gotten really weak players going in solo queue. It's just part of the game. You don't know what you're going to get unless you can do a 4-man Swift or, 3-man Swift, things of that nature. So, I know Nia wants the saves, so I'm trying to make it so she can't get it. See, I'm up against the wall. They could not get an angle to get the flashlight save there. But what am I still doing? I am ignoring Nia. Nia wants my attention, and that's going to make her slip up later, and I'll kind of point it out. Like, they know what they're doing. This is a person that I can tell And you'll see in the end game when we eventually get to it, I can tell this is a person that is A, cocky, and B, has a lot of hours. If I want to win this match, I can't focus them. I need to find the Claudette. I need to find the Vittorio. I need to keep on the Cheryl. So I want to hunt, kind of get somebody off guard. And lucky for me, it's Wrecker's Yard. You know, it's a very small map, so I've got time for my stealth to actually work. So, you know, I'm triggering the stealth. I'm checking out gens, looking for a quick shot. Now, you're not going to see me because I'm hiding my approach. Bam, right off the gen. And where's Nia? Not doing anything except running to try and get saves. So, they're not helping their team. Because their whole goal is to get me running. And I can figure that out. So, these are the types of players that you want to avoid until they slip up. They will make mistakes trying to get what they want. And what they want out of me is a chase. So I'm not going to give it to them. Granted, we are still at 5 gens. I don't need to be a douchebag and go for the Nia. But I've also, go for the Claudette. I also waited a long time for a match. I want to try and create content. So I'm going to do chases too. And I'm going to have my fun with it. So Claudette is now Deathhook. She is definitely a focus of mine. And I'm going to make sure, like right there, bam, Nia messed up. Because she's trying to make sure I don't tunnel out the Claudette. So now she's got to mend. And I'm just going to leave her on her own. Because I'm not going to give her what she wants so that the others can actually focus the generators and make a difference. So I'm going to keep walking, looking for targets, try to find somebody. And I could hear the gen, so as I was coming back, I heard the click. You know, keep your ears open, because you can hear them working on the generator if they're there. So here's another case where Nia thinks I'm going to go after the Cheryl. I just caught her off guard. Am I going to hook her? No. She's going to go on the ground because her priority is trying to make my life miserable. I'm repaying the favor. So I'm going to put you down while I look for your teammates. And, you know, Cheryl here has had enough. They're at 5 gens. I've already hooked everybody except Nia. So she's off. Little do I know, the Vittorio really isn't doing anything. But you'll see that later when victory is 100% certain. So now I'm undetectable. I'm going to go back towards the Nia. Do I want the Nia? No, I want whoever got her off the ground. And look, we find Claudette, you know, and I'll give it to Claudette. She is doing a damn good job. She's trying to make things happen. You know, she's been trying to do gens. She's getting her teammate off the ground. She's a team player. She's trying to move this game forward. Nia doesn't want that. Nia wants the flashlight blinds and other shit. I'm not worried about her. But Claudette is going to forget that she needs to mend. You'll see that in just a little bit here. You gotta mend. So there's her on Deathhook. She's gonna die. And then I'm left with 3 at 5 gens. But you can also hear Nia running behind me. She's still trying to do what she wants to do, which is to get those flashlight saves. I'm not gonna do that. Because I now know there's only 2 people touching generators in this match, potentially. At this point, I don't know what Vittorio's doing. So, I'm going to try and find the Cheryl. I'm going to try and find Vittorio. Just so I can focus on who's trying to do the generators. You know, who's trying to help them win. I don't care about this person. They aren't helping their team. They're just going for their own enjoyment. And by all means, you can do that. So now I'm going to catch this person off guard and just yoink them just like I did the Claudette. What's Nia trying to do? The flashlight over the rock. That's not going to work. So now, I still, at this point, don't know if Vittorio's doing gens. Look at that. Person thinks they're slick. Do a little head nod back and forth. This match is already won by me. And they're so cocky, they think there's no way they're not going to escape. They must not know what Vittorio's doing. So, she's still following me, trying to get me to chase and interact. I don't overly care. I'll flip around here and there just to look at her, see what she does. And, you know, I will catch her off guard here in a moment. She's not going to expect it. I'm going to flip around and get her. But what I notice when I do that, and this is where paying attention to the entire map comes in. A crow flew in this corner. So I'm going to look and see if there's anybody here, and I'm going to start checking the edge map. Because what that just gave away to me is Vittorio isn't doing anything except hiding around the edge map. And now that the cocky person has been left to down on the ground yet again, they DC'd. They're not getting what they want. They're not able to terrorize me. They're moving on to the next. I'm still focusing on getting my 4K. There is still a human in this match. Now, either he's going to come and try to get the bot, or he's going to keep trying to be a rat and hide on the edge of the map. Given that I have the abandon option, he hasn't touched a generator in quite some time. I saw him right there. Now, granted, my build kind of works against me in this point because I don't build Bloodlust. Deathslinger is a slow killer. So, I want extra points. I'm going to chase down and go after the Vittorio to down him too. Because, like I said, I want points. Now I've only got bots left in the lobby. I've 100% won this game. But you can't mind game a bot. So, since I can't gain Bloodlust, I've either got to try and hit a shot with a killer I'm not overly great with, or just wait for the bot to kind of slip up and get himself out of position. So, I'm going to toy with the bot for a little bit. I'll get him down. I'll get him hooked. And we'll take care of the Nia before she bleeds out. The fun part is finding your slug without tracking, but that's where your ears come into play. You'll kind of notice that later. So, what can we learn from this match? You had one player that really was just going for flashlights. Which, granted, if I'd have fallen for the bait, they'd have had a better chance of getting generators done and getting out. But what the person failed to realize is they were going up against someone who has got thousands of hours in the game. And I'm not going to fall for a little tiny sneak play like that. You know, you're not going to trick me into chasing you. I'm going to go and focus on other people. I'm not going to give you what you want, because that's going to work against me in the long run. So now at this point, I'm walking around looking for the Nia, using my ears. You know, and I can kind of start to hear it, so I know she's over here somewhere. I found her. There's the kill. This match is over. So, when you get players like this, fight the urge to focus them, because that will throw you the match. Instead, dismantle the team around them. It's kind of like in the one match that I did on the pig, where I'm talking about drawing out the content creator and, you know, kind of using them as baits to get rid of their friends. What I did here is that person, that Nia, is not going to go for anything. They're not going to do gens. They want me to chase them. And you can tell by that build. This is the classic, you're going to chase me, I'm going to be a pain in your ass build. You know, they have windows. So they've got that yellow light. They know exactly where to run to try and use their finesse. with their dramaturgy and their flashbang, which was absolutely pointless for her because she didn't touch a generator in order to build a flashbang. She's got her purple flashlight with double batteries because she wants to get her flashlight blind. She's going to save the team with just her actions. But by me not focusing her and going after everyone else, the Claudette, the Cheryl, the Vittorio, which look at his build. He has left behind. Andy came in with a key. This guy was a rat. As soon as the match was damn near done, which I would have had no way of knowing this was his build, except he did focus that chest. That was another key thing that this guy was focusing chest because he went back to it after I caught him at it and got that first shot in the very beginning. Claudette, this is a rat build too. Self care so that she can heal in a corner. Inner strength so she makes no noise. I don't know why she has Saboteur, because that's not going to help her with her rat, but she was what I would call multi purpose. She was going for heals, she was trying to do generators. This one was actively trying to work with the team. Cheryl's build, bite the bullet, prove thyself, self care, and lithe. It's not a horrible build, but if you don't link up with anybody, prove thyself is useless. If you're not going to heal people, bite the bullet is useless. All you've got for you is self care and lithe. So this guy was going for the hatch. That's what Left Behind is for. He would see the hatch, wait for me to close it, pop it with the key. I didn't even realize there was a key. I was looking at my phone while I was waiting for the match to start. I saw the flashlight, I saw the map, things that I'm not overly concerned about. I'm not worried about the map because I'm not running totems. I'm not worried about the flashlight because I'm going to do my best to try and get myself either up against a wall, get them out of position when I go for the pickup, just to block it because I don't have Lightborn. And you saw they did get a couple of flashlight saves. But at the end of the day, they didn't get anything out of this match. By me knowing playstyles and being able to read my opponents, just to try and figure them out. Rat, Rat, Gen Jockey, Saver, the Master Looper, which their name was Juke. One thing I did notice, they either had blighted pants or they had legacy pants because they were changing their outfit in the lobby before the countdown clock was done to start the match. So that also gave me a thing. I wasn't paying attention completely to the lobby, but I caught it out of the corner of my eye that this person either had blighted cosmetics or legacy. So that was another thing that I needed to worry about. There was somebody that was going to be strong against a killer that I don't play often. And one thing I want to do is I want to create a decent match to show. And I figured with the way this one played out, it's another semi teachable moment. And it just reinforces pay attention to your opponents. Dead by Daylight is a mind game. And if you can read and figure out your opponents and figure out what they're going for, it's going to give you the advantage against the survivors. The same can be said on the survivor side against the killer. If you can figure out the killer's build, what perks they're running, you can kind of know what they're trying to do. But this match specifically, I figured out what the survivors wanted to do, what they were comfortable doing, whether or not they could loop, and then one by one, I went after them. This Nia here not doing anything to benefit her team is the reason this is a 4K at 5 gens. And it being me getting very lucky and getting a very small map also is the reason why it is a 4K at 5 gens. Deathslinger is slow. I've got some range to my kit, and he's also a killer I rarely play. But if you play enough killer and you kind of have your base mechanics down, you can take your time, figure things out, monitor the map, patrol your gens, get your hooks, get your deaths, secure your win. So, the key takeaway that I want to give to everybody who watches this: pay attention to your opponent. Once you feel you've got them figured out, unless they change their tactics, go for the weak ones, while the strong ones go to either save or knock out the gens. If this person would have got with this person, they could have got some gens done, and they were trying. I'll give it. These three were trying. Claudette, Cheryl, and Vittorio were touching gens until the very end, and then Vittorio stopped. He knew he wasn't going to get the gens done, and he was focused on getting out. This build is only to get out the hatch. Find yourself a key if you didn't come in with a key, and get out of the hatch when everybody else is dead. So by the time I had it down to just Nia and Vittorio, I made the right call finding the Vittorio after the Nia disconnected for not getting what they wanted. Because if I would have left him up and I would have hooked the Nia, this guy would have got out of the hatch. His build is specifically designed to rat out through the hatch. So, like I said, watch your opponents, try to figure them out, use your mind games, get the weak ones out of the match to the best of your ability as quick as possible, and then one by one dwindle them out. Monitor your generators, kick them here and there, because you can also use the generators to let you know where people are. If a gen is sparking, it hasn't been touched, nobody's been around there. If you're still at 5 gens and you've kicked a couple around the match, which that's what my build will do. My build will help keep track of what generators I've kicked, because the last one that I kicked is going to be yellow due to machine learning. Rapid Brutality is just there to help me in chases. Just so that when I break the chain, I catch up a little quicker. I can set up for a follow-up shot. Monitor and Abuse, along with this, is there to help me sneak up on them if I don't have Unforeseen currently active. Which you saw it, they did not expect me to sneak up on them and yoink them off the gens. So, I'm patrolling, I'm kicking gens, I'm going for hooks, I'm getting downs, and even throughout the match, when I'm trying to find people, I'm checking the generators. I've kicked the generators, the ones that had progress would be sparking. I'm also looking for crows to land or fly off, which what I'm thinking is towards the end, when I was facing the Nia before it disconnected, Vittorio was probably over there working that one generator and ran around the outside of the map. Which the amount of time it took me to down the Nia would make sense that he's out of my line of sight. He ran past and got around. So that guy hiding, waiting for the hatch to spawn, he zoomed to the other side of the map, and I found him because he wasn't hidden quite enough with the way my perks and add-ons work to make my terror radius smaller, so that I caught him out of position while he was hiding. And just being observant, watching the match, seeing what flies away, what movement you've got. Like the Cheryl, I had just downed the Nia, and I'm still looking, I'm spinning the camera. You see me find her right behind the tires. So be observant, pay as much attention as you can, try and figure out your opponent, and a lot of that comes with time with playing killer. You're going to lose a lot of matches. I lose matches, we all do. But the more you play, the more observant you are with figuring out that weak link and then going from there and kind of dwindling them down, better your chances at getting consistent 4Ks across every different killer. So I hope this helps a little bit. I just saw this match as one that I could kind of talk over and point out little tips here and there, and I hope it helps a little bit. But thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope you all have a great day.